If you're someone working in Germany, or you're planning to come to work in Germany, or you unfortunately just lost your job in Germany, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you in this video step by step how the German work culture is, what to do if you lose your job, whether you're already a German citizen, a blue card holder, an opportunity card as a Chancenkarte holder, or just a regular foreigner living in Germany. We'll talk about unemployment benefits, we'll talk about health insurance, we'll talk about the steps to take in case you lose your job and what it means for your type of stay. Of course, working in Germany also means that you'll be taking care of family back home, projects back home, or also your own pension back home. And how do you spend the money efficiently? Of course, we're in the country of efficiency. LEMFI. LEMFI will give you zero transfer fees, competitive rate, fast delivery. Not only that, LEMFI is easy to use, safe to use. Just download it and start using it. And for you as a follower of the Phoebe Way, as a Shati line, you get to get your cash back. If you use the code Phoebe Way, you get cash back. So please do not snooze. Use LEMFI, use Phoebe Way for your cash back and send money for zero transfer fees, for fast delivery, for high competitive rate, easy application. You're welcome. So working in Germany, the first thing you have to do is make sure that you read your job contract. Please, that is the first thing I want you to do. Life in Germany is not rushed. So once I understand that you got the job, you're excited, you're like, yay, I got a job, but please read the job contract. You have to know this. Working in Germany, there's something called Probezeit. And this is what Probezeit is about.
What is Probezeit? In Germany, Probezeit, the probation period, is your trial phase at the beginning of the job. One thing is that Probezeit is not mandatory by law, except you are doing a Berufsausbildung. It has to be written in the contract, meaning the parties have to agree for the Probezeit to be valid. Also, usually it lasts up to 6 months, and during the Probezeit, the notice period for termination of the contract is usually 2 weeks. Yes, you can terminate the contract within 2 weeks, and usually it's for both employer and employee. After the Probezeit, the minimum notice period becomes 4 weeks or more, depending on the contract and length of employment. That is why many people are terminated quickly during probation. And what this means for your Arbeitslosengeld is what we will discuss later. A lot of people think that if you're an employee during probation, you do not have any rights. That is not true. Yes, the employer does not have to provide strong justification, and termination can happen with little explanation. But the termination can still not be discriminatory. You cannot be fired because of pregnancy, disability, race, religion, or maybe because you're a member of a certain work union. Illegal termination is still illegal, even during Probezeit.
Now that we know your rights during Probezeit and also the rights of your employer during Probezeit, let's continue to work culture. I have been privileged to work as an intern and also as a student worker, as a work student in various firms in Germany, as in law firms, legal firms, tax firms in Germany. Also, I have worked as a Verkaufshilfe during my time of studying at good places as well. And I must tell you that I have had different types of experiences as an employee. But one thing is this: know your rights. 2, as I already said in the beginning, read the contract. And 3, be careful about who your colleagues are. Read the room. Know work politics. It's not just enough to do your job well and go home. No. You don't get awarded for being quiet, but rather know how work politics are played. Yes, you have to know which colleague you're going to not listen to, the one you'll be nice to, the one you will ignore, and the ones you spend your break with. Because you know why? All those little Kaffeepause. Es ist nicht einfach nur eine Kaffeepause. Oder gehen wir einen Kaffee trinken. Some people will say, I keep my work strictly separate from my private life, it is not going to help you that much. You need to know which information to share and which you will not share, because a little bit of information will also make you look what? Credible. When it comes to the Weihnachtsfeier, you don't have to stay away. Go and see how it is, okay? You don't have to drink if you don't drink. But one thing I have realized in Germany is you are allowed to communicate your boundaries. Ich trinke nichts. Ich hätte kein alkoholfrei. And you will get it, okay? You don't have to be a people's pleaser and be following everything that is being done. No. Same way, you will learn the culture when you go out and join and see how things are done. I would highly recommend. That helped me a lot to know these people I'm working with, so this is how you really are. Now that we've taken the lighter things out of the way, let's talk about how your pay is calculated and what is the difference between gross, as in Brutto, and Netto, your
Now
net
let's
salary.
talk about how salary is calculated in Germany. Let's do this with the Gehaltsabrechnung, your salary slip. So in Germany we have the Brutto, that is the gross salary, and we have the Netto, which is the net salary. So the net salary is what actually lands in your bank account, and your gross salary is what is written in your contract. And for example, your employment benefits, the ALG I, Arbeitslosengeld I, this is based on your net salary. Now, let's do the step-by-step calculation. Let's assume that your gross salary is 4,000 euros per month. From this 4,000, we are going to have several deductions that are going to be made automatically. Number one is the Lohnsteuer. So this Lohnsteuer depends on how much you earn, that is your salary, your tax class, your Steuerklasse, whether you are married, whether you have children, and the more you earn, the higher your percentage. We have already talked about how taxes are calculated in Germany. If you have not yet watched that video, please go watch it. I'm going to put the link in the description box if you need extra information. And then we have the Solidarity surcharge, that is the Solidaritätszuschlag. It's small additional tax, and many middle income earners don't pay that anymore. The next is the church tax. I already told you, you don't have to officially belong to a church, but if you do officially belong to a church, you'll be paying 8 to 9% of your income tax, and you can leave the church formally if you don't want to pay it. Then we come to the social security contributions, which is the Sozialversicherung. We have the mandatory forms, and then we have these ones are very important. We have the health insurance, pension insurance, unemployment insurance, and long-term care insurance. So we have Krankenversicherung, Rentenversicherung, Arbeitslosenversicherung, and we have the Pflegeversicherung. And usually it's split in the middle. Your employer pays half and you also pay half. And that is why your gross and your net will look very different. So on the top section, we have your name and address, your employer's details, your tax ID, your social security number. We have your tax class also written on your Gehaltsabrechnung, and we also have your health insurance provider. And then you have the earnings section. You have the base salary, your overtime payments, that is where they'll write all these things, your bonuses, your holiday pay, your night shift supplements, your Sachbezug, Vermögenswirksame Leistung, all these things, they'll write them here. That is your total gross, your Gesamtbrutto. And we have the deduction section where we have the taxes, we have the social security, and then we have the net salary, which is the Auszahlungsbetrag. That is your Netto. Sometimes they will write Auszahlungsbetrag, or sometimes they will write Netto Entgelt. So that's where we have it. Let's continue.
Good. Now we're back. You know how much you're earning. Let's talk about what happens in case you lose your job. Number one, you should make sure that you register at the Arbeitsagentur als arbeitssuchend. Yes, meaning you are looking for a job. There's a difference between Freistellung and Entlassung, Kündigung. Freistellung means that you are being laid off, all right, but you'll still be getting your payment till the end of the time that is stipulated, right? And then you might also get the Kündigung, which means that day they said it's done. Usually it's außerordentlich, okay? Meaning that it's außerordentliche Kündigung. That is why you'll be getting the right on termination. So this is what you will do, and this is what you would need. Immediately you know that the job is ending, you do arbeitssuchend. The moment the job ends, you go arbeitslos. Arbeitssuchend means you're searching, arbeitslos means unemployed. Once you want to register as job seeking, you can do it in person or also online. I highly recommend going in person because then you can ask your questions directly and have them answered. But this is what you would need. You go with the work contracts, you go with the termination notice, and then of course you can do it online. And online, the link is arbeitsagentur.de. Writing it here so you can write it down for yourself. And please do it early because the earlier you do it, the earlier you'd actually get your benefits. That is if you're eligible. Now let's talk about eligibility for the Arbeitslosengeld I. For the past 30 months, you should have worked 12 months plus. So usually, if you have been laid off in your first job within the Probezeit, you would not be eligible for Arbeitslosengeld. You must have registered as job seeking, which is why I said that's arbeitssuchend. The moment you know that you're going to lose your job, you should go and tell them that you're arbeitssuchend. That is also the next step. You should also make sure that you let it be known that you're available and able to work. Obviously, you need to have a legal residence. And the next thing is that the job loss could not have been voluntarily. So there are certain things like Aufhebungsvereinbarung. Hey, you and your employer will agree that you are stopping the job. That means that you agree, he also agreed. No, don't do that. Because if you do sign such an Aufhebungsvereinbarung, it will not make you eligible. It disqualifies you from getting Arbeitslosengeld. Sometimes to these Aufhebungsvereinbarungen, they come with things like Abfindung. So they obviously know that you are getting some money, you know, so be careful. How much is Arbeitslosengeld? Arbeitslosengeld is only going to pay you this percentage of your current earning. And if you have a child, it's increased to this percentage. So yes, don't fully rely on Arbeitslosengeld like that. It is really not that much. It's just enough to keep you afloat as you're looking for a new job. Next up is health insurance. Well, when it comes to health insurance, it will be deducted from source, right? So don't use your own two legs to go to your health insurance provider and tell them that I'm not working, so cancel it. You can go and ask them questions, how is it done? But usually your health insurance contract is not terminated just because you're not working. They keep on paying. And you have to be careful that if you stop paying the health insurance and you start working, you can get a backlog of payment that you have to do. So please. Now let's talk about the visa rules, because some of us are not on indefinite stay, as in with Niederlassungserlaubnis. So some of us, our jobs or our visas or our stays are tied to the type of work that we are doing or the job that we are doing. So now let's talk about the general thing. Please start gathering all your documents. It depends on which kind of stay you have. So with the blue card visa, you have up to 3 months, between 3 and 6 months to find a job, but give yourself the tighter date, let's say 3 months to find a job. What do? You have to inform the Ausländerbehörde immediately so that that time can start running. And then immediately you find a job too, you have to let the Ausländerbehörde confirm, depending on how long you've had the blue card for, right? So you inform Ausländerbehörde, you have time to find a new job, you find a new job, and you inform Ausländerbehörde. With the work visa, your stay is tied to your employer, right? But don't fret. You inform Ausländerbehörde, and sometimes you may be given time to find a new job. And then usually your new contracts would also have to be approved by the Arbeitsagentur für Arbeit. And then once they approve it, you take it to the Ausländerbehörde. So sometimes it also goes hand in hand. The reason why the approval is needed is because they have to make sure that the employer didn't find any other person to do the job, and you get to do it. So please, you're working with time, no slacking, okay? I'm not trying to mount pressure on you. I already know that you don't feel comfortable in your situation, but I'm going to show you also which sites you can be applying to jobs at, right? Let's go. When it comes to opportunity card, your residence is not tied to the job, so it's different. So if you lose your job, no, it doesn't mean that you lose your stay, but please always inform the Ausländerbehörde. The next thing, whether you can claim Arbeitslosengeld, if you're eligible, yes, you can. Let's start looking for the new job. You have to use the main websites that we know, like Indeed, Stepstone, arbeitsagentur.de, and then also you have to add these new ones to it as well. Because some of the best jobs would never appear on these mainstream websites, right? you have to go and dig them out. So please incorporate these other websites as well so that you find the right job. Now, the last part is for you to stay organized and motivated. When I say organized, I mean keep a track of the applications you have sent out, the response you got, so you can take them out. You know what worked, what didn't work. And then also you should know that you would apply different tactics as you are applying for a new job. If it will help, try to improve your German. It shows that you are ready to stay long-term in Germany as well. Have a certain level of functional German too. So have the German, like the keywords or the vocabulary for within your field. Have that on deck. Make sure you can hold the work interviews in German as much as possible. And also stay calm, okay? It's just a phase. All around us, the job market is currently a bit strange. It's a bit cold. It's really not straightforward, so it is not your fault. So please be kind to yourself as you are applying for a new job. Losing your job in Germany can be tough, but do not fret. If you apply the right tactics and strategy, if you use the right resources, if you take the necessary steps, this era will be a smooth era. You'd even forget the stress that you thought you would be in, okay? If this video helped you, please do share it. Like, comment, subscribe. Hype this video on YouTube and follow us also on all social media platforms. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. I really appreciate all the support that you've been giving the Phoebe way, and take good care of yourself. Remember that no matter where you are, you deserve clarity, dignity, and stability. Bis zum nächsten Mal, meine Lieben. Tschüss.